we can all agree there's nothing better than cheese, and that's what we're talking about today in celebration of the recent 8th annual Canadian Cheese Rolling Festival that happened in Whistler. And joining me is Sandra De Silva with the Dairy Farmers of Canada. Tough gig you have working with cheese.
I love cheese.
Every girl loves cheese.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So before we talk about some samplings we have here, Sandra, what's this festival all about?
Well, the Canadian Cheese Rolling Festival, it's hosted by Dairy Farmers of Canada. As you mentioned, it's the 8th annual. It's up at Whistler and it usually takes place around the August 15th, 16th, 17th timeline. And it truly is a festival to celebrate the love of Canadian cheese. And there's a lot of things that happen throughout the festival. So we have cheese rolling races, we have children's events, we have a cheese seminars, cheese market, we also have recipe demos. It really is a fun event.
Everything. And as we mentioned, this started in Europe. The Cheese Rolling Festival is quite the spectacle to watch if you're not taking place. Take us through how it works exactly.
Well, and you're absolutely correct. We took the idea from the Coopers Hill event in the UK. They've been doing it for over 200 years. And it really is pretty simple and it's pretty self-explanatory. What we do is we take a wheel of cheese at the top of a hill, you roll it down the hill, and people just go chasing after it. So it really is a crazy, chaotic event.
Who are the top winners this year?
This year, the female champion was Rebecca Sherrard. She is from the Washington State. And this year, the male winner was Paul Nguyen, who is from Whistler, which is great.
Awesome.
But we've had winners from all over the world. We've had racers and winners from the Czech Republic, and we've had them from Australia and the States. So, and even this year we had some from Germany and Spain. So it's great. It's a really great event, and people have heard about it all over the world, and they've been coming to it. So it's great.
It's catching on, like you said. The main idea is to bring attention to cheese, which is what we're doing today. So these 3 cheeses were featured at the recent festival.
Correct.
We're gonna get our own little tasting here, a little private one. Let's talk about the first one, Comex Brie.
Correct. This is made by Natural Pastures. And Natural Pastures has actually been a great partner of ours for the last 8 years. They're the one that actually supplies us with the cheese wheel that goes down the hill.
Wow.
Yeah, so this year the wheel that went down the hill was the Born Cast, and it was 11 pounds, which was quite great. But this one here is a Comex Brie. It's wonderful. It's made with milk from select farms within the area, and it's just a really nutty flavor to it, just so creamy. The texture just melts in your mouth when you put it in your mouth, so I'm hoping you will try that for sure.
All right, let's see here. Now just try the whole thing?
Yes, please do.
The whole thing?
Oh yeah, well, not at the same. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to do it all at the same
time.
All
right, I'll take half here. I'll see. Very creamy, like I said.
Yes.
Instantly melts in your mouth.
Absolutely.
That's a nice introduction for cheese lovers or who are just getting into cheese tasting. It's not overwhelming.
Absolutely, it's a very nice soft cheese. And it's one of those great cheeses that you can serve at parties, you put it into a brie baker, you melt it, and it's just a nice opportunity to scoop everything in it, from crackers to vegetables. It's delicious.
It turns into cream cheese in your mouth instantly.
Absolutely.
Awesome, so moving on to the next one here.
Yes, this one here is the Rath Trevor, and it's by Little Qualicum Cheese Makers. And the wonderful thing about this is that they've taken an age-old tradition from the Swiss and created a very Swiss Gruyere type of cheese. And they also use the milk directly from their own cows. So they do have their own dairy farm, which really they're able to just get the flavors that they're looking for from their cows and the milk that they use.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll try this here.
Please.
All right, it's a bit of a harder one almost. I feel bad you're not joining me, but you probably eat enough cheese.
But the really great thing about some of these cheeses as well, is particularly this one, and I definitely got this tip from my cheese expert, is that even some of the best flavors comes right out of the rind, which is the outside of the cheese. Okay. So a lot of people do tend to cut the rinds off of their cheese when they're enjoying it, but we're always recommending that they keep it and enjoy it. Yeah.
Now, how long was this one aged before it was actually sold?
You know what? They usually it's quite a long period of time. I mean, it's not as long as a most aged cheddar would be. Yeah. This is definitely not a 2-week, old cheese. It's definitely at least about 2 to 3 months.
Wow, that's got nice. It's quite strong. It's nice.
Yes.
Yeah, nice cut to it.
And the longer that they age it, the stronger the flavors will become.
Yeah. And what are some different ways you see people using cheese? Where we were saying you can get a spread in a restaurant, but what are some other ways? You mentioned the festival even had demonstrations from chefs there.
We did. We had Executive Chef Ned Bell from U Restaurant in Vancouver, and he actually created 6 recipes for us this year using cheeses by the cheesemakers that were on site. So we definitely recommend that anyone who's looking to take some cheese and learn to cook and bake with it, please visit CanadianCheeseRolling.ca. The recipes are actually online and they're absolutely delicious.
Let's move on to the last one here.
The last one
I'm guessing
here.
this is the strongest.
This is quite strong, yes. This is the Farmhouse Traditional Cloth-Bound Cheddar. This one is actually aged with a cloth that wraps around it. So you get a lot of the flavors and the earthy textures and tones through the cloth, and as you can see through the rind here, like that's just from the aging process and how it's gotten darker there. So I'm encouraging you to try that one.
All right, I'm
Cheddar's
excited.
is a personal favorite of mine.
Yeah, I love strong cheese, so looking for this one. Yeah, that is really good. That's probably twice as strong as this one here.
Absolutely. And you can really taste the earthiness because of the way they've aged it.
And last question, have you seen a real rise last year to people choosing to support their local dairy farmers, not just buying, the big box store cheeses, say? Have you seen a real increase in that?
We absolutely have, and people have really come out and said that they really want to support local. It's really all about local right now. So people are very, very adamant to make sure that they're supporting their local farmers and their local cheesemakers. And like I said, we've got amazing artisanal cheesemakers from across the country. So as far as PEI, so.
Yeah, let's go locally, don't go back, for sure.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you
me,
for having
Sandra.
me.